Hello guys, welcome to the new video tutorial on Angular. So in a last video tutorial, we guys have created the material design cards and we have printed this array with the 6 cards right there. Well, in this video tutorial, we guys are going to check with how we can able to create and material design forms and how we can able to put them in the Angular components. So here the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all this code from this div. So let me just remove all this code. At the same time, I'm going to remove the CSS which is not required. So from this example card till to this paragraph, the CSS are not required, and we guys are going to check for the material form. So let us open the Angular material and let us go to the components. So here I'm going to open the Angular material. Let us go to the components, and in the components we guys are going to print some data right there. So let us get back to the form fields. So here at the form fields there are some components we available, like we can create the component like this or outline components. So anything in the material design, you can scroll it up with the icons if you wanted to create, again with the email address, everything such kind of, again select. So all these things we can able to work it right there. So let us create a one single form. So I'm going to create here one more div. So let me close with this. Right now this component.ts, the last array what we have to remove, so because we are not required here. So here and we can hide and background color to this container. So let me get back to the CSS one more time, and here we are going to define the class container. Okay, background color, let us say alias blue, and the height I'm going to set it as 450 pixels. Okay, let us check how does it appear. So it appears like this, that's fine. And then we can print some data at the center for the form. Let us say I'm taking a student registration form. So here in the h3 I'm going to write a student registration form, and in this form we guys are going to place our all the components one by one. So let us assign this class to the text center and let's see that data right here. So this is how it looks like. If you wanted to apply the CSS to that, you can able to apply the CSS easily. So here instead of h3 I'm going to write it to the h2. Now let us check, and so this is how it looks like. You, if you want, you can provide the margin. So let us say margin from it's 2. Okay, that's fine, but the margin is similarly applies to that container also. So here I'm going to check the margin here as m0. Okay, margin is not getting applied properly, so let us add the padding to this so that it can able to fix up. Okay, that's fine. So we have this title, and now we have to print the components here in the center. That is one component right here. Let us say first name, middle name, last name. So three elements in that div we are going to be printed. So from this I required, let us say I have to create this outline. Okay, this outline text box. So you can just go to the view code, or depends on your choice, you can go for this fill also. Just only one changes is right there. So I'm going to copy this code, and to make them assign at our flex, or to write that elements in a row of 3. So I'm going to create here the div, okay, which belongs to the class of row, and here the div we are going to create which is having a class of call md3. So that 3 elements in that one single component can be able to fix up. So let us paste this code. So right now we are having a error with this mat form field because there might be some import files that we have to do it. So let us get back and check for APIs. So it says loading document. Let us refresh the page, it's taking so much time. Okay, this is the API that we required. So let us copy this, get back to the app.model.ts file. So we have already imported this mat card, but we are not using it, so I'm delete. And instead of mat card, fill. All right, now let us back and check it out here. Okay, let us go for this component. All right, everything is fine. And we guys are having this placeholder right here, but you guys can see the design is completely got changes. It is just because of the input module that we haven't fixed it right here to the import statement. So let's import that one also. So I'm going to say import, okay, which is what mat input module, and from our Angular material slash, right, so I have to input right at here, so I'm going to say mat input module. Now let us save, let us get back here, let us finish the page. You guys can see the placeholder with the outline will be get appear. So if you wanted to change with that labels and the suffix everything, that you can able to change it from the code. So let us get back to the app component.html. So I don't require this mat icon and this mat hint. So I'm going to remove this first, and the label I'm going to put it here is, let us say, first name. So this is first name, and the placeholder, let us say here as a John, that is a placeholder, and it is required. So I'm just going to put it as a required. Now similar like this, you guys can able to post for middle name and last name. So I'm going to again copy this entire div. Okay, one div is what for our middle name. So let us write it middle name. And here also let us say middle name is Peter. And this is not required. So I'm not going to post and required right here. And the next div is for last name. Okay, so let us see here at it is required. Now let us see how does it will appears. So it appears like this, as you guys can see, as we have provided this outline property, appearance outline. So if you change them to the fill, so let us change them everything to the fill. So see, it will occurs in a fill mode. So it depends on the outline, this data is going to change. So I'm going to put their appearance as outline. But the major thing that I wanted to do right here is I wanted to keep them at the center. Well, to keep them at the center, here I'm going to use justify content center to our, so that they can appears at the center very easily. Now the same div we required multiple times. So again, this entire div of row I'm going to be copy. Okay, that's fine. So again, 3 more inputs are going to create. So here I'm going to collapse this, and here I'm going to paste inputs. Well, the next step that we are going to do is what for your let us say here we are going to paste an email address, here is the mobile number, and here we are going to write a select for gender. So let us write with this. So the first here is email. Okay, here you can mention the type as email also, and the placeholder is john@mail.com, and the email is required. So this is how it appears. You guys can see the placeholder will be appears later. Similar like this, here I'm going to place for let us say contact number. Okay, this input type must be what number. We haven't provided an input types for the first name, middle name, last name. If you guys are ready to do with that, you can just mention the input type as text for first name, middle name, last name. Okay, so this is the contact number, and this is the select. Now we required this select here for the gender. So I will get back here, and we guys are going to check for select. Okay, let us scroll it, and here we are having the select icon. Okay, default select is like this. You can use the outline also. So this is select me that we require. So this is the form field. Now I am going to be copy this entire code of a form field, and here I am going to place. So mat select, it appears with an error because it having the respective import file one more time. So you can select with this, like you can go to the app.module.ts, and here you can import the mat select module from your Angular slash material slash select. And let us add it here also is mat select module. Now back to HTML. So here I'm going to say just select gender, and here I'm going to write this is gender, this value. Okay, this hint and everything I not required, so I'm going to be remove, and I required the values like first initially, that is select, and their value is null, and the gender male, female, other. Okay, this is what for male, their value is also the male. This is female, their value is female, and this is for other, the value is other. And I want this select to be get selected, so here I'm using the property called selected. Now let us save this, let us get back to our app. So as we haven't we given the appearance as a fill, that's why it's looks like this. You can change that appearance, okay, here to the appearance as outline. Right, now let us check with this. So it looks like appearance as outline, and this is the standard way to do that. So now the next step that I wanted to write, let us say we required branches, we required marks, and one more field that we can able to take it at here, which is let us say address. Okay, so we required one complete address right here, so one complete text area I'm going to write, and then three fields or two fields you guys can mention, and one button also we are going to write it here. So to write that text field, again we can get back here to the form field. I will scroll it up. Okay, let us search for text area. Do we have the text area? Let us check with this. Okay, we don't have text area, but yeah, we can able to provide the height to this height and width. So this HTML I required, so I'm going to be copy this HTML. This is already binded with our error messages and something that we guys are going to check validation later onwards. So here better what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this div first. So this is the second div. So let us scroll this up. So here we got completed. All right, and here one more select item I'm going to add to this entire div. So here I'm going to say this form field, let's roll it up, and here I'm going to add, that is what for address. So mat input type as text, and the address and mention any of city and state. Alright, so let us save this, let us get back. So this is how it appears with. So if you guys wanted to change the height and width of this, we can able to assign the width, let us say by writing a class. I'm going to set them, I'm going to say bootstrap class of width 75. Alright, so 75 will be of more here. So instead of writing class, I'm going to provide style. Say here the width as, let us say 80% initial. How does it appears? So 80%, okay, that's fine. So we can write 70%. Now let us check. Okay, 70% will be of more here. So to do with that, what we are going to mention is, I guess there is a problem with this area. So to remove this, we are going to write margin auto, so that it can able to place in center, but still it is not fixed. Okay, so what we guys can do, instead of writing here, I'm going to create one more div, and for this div is called md10 I'm going to write, and on this we are going to able to fix with data. Okay, now let us check. Okay, that's fine. This width and margin auto, this margin auto I'm going to be removed. Let me check. Okay, so let us remove this style from this icon. Okay, so here you can assign a class. There is a problem with this md4, and that is the reason it's not appears correctly. Well, you guys can able to fix with that. Maybe it is going to take some time, so I'm not fixing up right here. So what we guys are going to do next, it's simply adding that rest of the our div. So I guess I got deleted one more, so let me delete with this. Alright, so this is an entire div I should have to delete. Okay, so the next step that I am going to do here is to just add the buttons to my form, and let us show them here in our center. So here I'm going to say again a button with the of matte raised button. Alright, and the text of button I'm going to write as submit. Let's check how does it appears. So it appears with the 100% of width. So we can assign them to the one more div with the class of column md, let us say 6, and inside this div we guys are going to paste the data. Alright, that's fine. So you can assign the width to this. So I'm going to say width. Okay, we have to assign it to the button, not for the div. So here I'm going to say class as width 75. Okay, 75 is enough like this. Okay, you can change this color if you want to. So I'm going to change the color as primary. Double code was intended. So the color change got primary. Now one more div we are going to put it here, and there is accent, and here I'm going to say clear. Right, so we have two different divs, but the problem is that width we have given. So let us reduce their width by 50%. But still this data is not getting printed in our center. So what we guys can able to do here, instead of this call 6, I'm going to write call auto, and here also call auto. Okay, now we can able to provide a width to that. I guess width will be not applicable because yeah, we have written them in a call auto. That is the reason the width for these buttons are not get applicable. So this is a form that we guys have got created with the Angular forms control by using the input type text, input type email, input type number, and the select. So depends on your data that got selected, it looks like good, and that is the reason in most of the cases this Angular material designs are uses for our information to be get retrieved from the user. I hope you guys have understand how we can able to create the Angular material forms and how we can able to put them in our application. In the next video tutorial, we guys are going to check how to write with the table content of material design. So stay tuned for the new video tutorial.